A friend shared this with me, and I decided to share my opinion with you. So, watch with me.
When you see what is happening in Nigeria, there's conditioning. The fact that you know that light can go conditions you for imperfection. The fact that you know you should not drive too fast on a road because you can enter into a pothole conditions you that you don't deserve the best. The fact that a road can take 3 months and they do it for 5 years conditions you. So once you adjust to the conditioning, you pave way for future stealing. After all, we know it takes time. They do it well enough for you to adjust to the fact that what can happen now takes time. So it is not a failed system, it is working as planned. If you go to United Kingdom, on election day you don't even know. Walk in and vote. The fact that you will queue under the sun and somebody will still steal the polling box is so that the good people can be discouraged from voting. Those who have good use of their time will not. Then those whose time is not produced and have collected 5K will. It's a deliberate system.
Yes, there is a conditioning. You are being conditioned, and by whom? Now, I had made an earlier video and I told you that if you look at it, why is it that every average Nigerian wants to travel abroad? If given the opportunity to live in Nigeria and to travel abroad, they will always take the option of traveling abroad. And I had made my point that this is simple, that any human being with basic intelligence, if you observe from your kindergarten, primary school, even if you look into your room right now, most of the things that are making life easy and comfortable, even the means through which you are listening to me, are all imported. All foreign inventions, all foreign research, every basic thing, even today's Nigeria now, today's world, where they are using drones to bombard countries, using intelligence to fight wars. In our own country, you see the opposite. And you know that even if we were going to approach such level of warfare, we are going to still import the technology, import the intelligence, all the while not appreciating or investing in our own young Nigerians who are interested in these fields of endeavor to innovate, to research, and to create technology. Now, any basic Nigerian or any Nigerian with average intelligence, it is a given that outside is always better. That is conditioning. It is not intentional, but that is the inevitable consequence. And this is where I want to start making my point, that it is not a deliberate action. I take an exception that our situation and the lot that we are living is not a deliberate action. However, it is an unintended consequence that remains true, because action always follows, results always follows the action. For every effect, it must be equal and opposite to the cause. The cause must always be equal and opposite to the effect on every level of human endeavor. So it is on this basis that I put it and I say that it is an unintended consequence. Now, what is worse that we fail to realize is that we are the highest culprit as a people. We are the most guilty party. Because in this our failing democracy, or in this failure of leadership, the people remain complicit and have been the highest benefactors of this poor leadership. And yet they continue to sustain the idea that the change that they seek is impossible, is not going to happen in this lifetime, it will take time, and all these other ideas of a failed human being. Definitely, anywhere you see failure, you see excuses. The same excuses can also be twisted to become a possibility. However, I'm here to tell you that you are as guilty as charged. That the leadership that continues to fail you, you are the reason why they keep failing you. How? And how do I make this assertion? I make this assertion because it is clear that every 4 years, the leadership must come back to you to seek accountability. Now, I'm talking in terms of solutions, because as far as the problem goes, I know you are not short of knowledge of the problems. However, where you are short is always in the solutions? How is it that you are not able to see the solution? Because it's always self-evident and so obvious that it becomes not possible, right? It's weird. How can this solution that is so obvious, is looking at you every day, it is touchable, yet it's not possible? So every 4 years, even if the constitution, you do not believe in it, even if the constitution is a scam, that same constitution has made it mandatory that every 4 years you have a say. Even if your vote will not count, the election must take place. Even if your vote will not count, that election must take place. Even if you do not have a voter's card, that election must take place. Now, it is the failure of the citizen or the people of Nigeria that has continued to entertain this bad leadership, and it goes on unquestioned because the people has failed in their parts. For every exam that you take where the lecturer, you are sure that the lecturer will not come to investigate, invigilate, and then if you know that the lecturer will just give marks whether you do pass the questions or not, I'm sure that you will relax. If you, the citizens, the supposed citizens of Nigeria, because now you can claim that you are not a citizen because your rights do not matter, but it was not automatic. It was a process. During the leadership of Obasanjo, it was not as worse as this. At least you can still go to court and get some hopefully good results. It was not as worse as this. So it has gradually become worse because constantly you keep failing in your own part to say that you as a citizen, you have a right to vote. And if your vote is failing you because the institution that is meant to give accountability on that level is failing, you can still do something because, like I've said before, when institutions and leadership fail, the Constitution did not leave that gap unaccounted for, because in the first place, the power to lead, the power for any institution to exist derives its source from the same Constitution. And the Constitution derives its source from you, the people, whether true or false. The Constitution is only existing on the authority of the people. And it's in that same vein that when the Constitution fails, or the institution established by the Constitution fails, the power does not hang in the air. It goes back to the people. It depends on the people, or it's the people that will now stand up and say, the Constitution, you are missing this. This institution, you are missing this. This electoral process is missing this. Therefore, we the people now, we are saying this and this and this. So, while you can claim that you have been conditioned, what is missing in the equation is you. If you want a better country for yourself and for your children, then you just know that you will not get it by standing in the spectator bench and watching. You have to involve yourself in participating. This time around, 2027 election, you have a fresh opportunity to participate. Regardless of all these anticipated rigging and voter suppression and all these things, it does not still deny you your right to participate. You can participate in new ways that have not been thought about before now. And the change that you seek, I can assess that you are not the only one that seek the same change. I also seek change for better. The question now that is left unanswered is not that it's not whether you are conditioned or not. The question left unanswered is that will you participate, and to what extent? To what extent will you participate if you decided to participate? This is the question that you must answer for yourself. If you do not care about what they are doing and what they do, well, I thank you for punishing us to the same Nigeria of instability and terrible future. But if you so choose to participate, well, join me as I join you to welcome and urge in a new Nigeria from 2027, because I know you would have done what is needed. You'd have had your say. At least that's the least you can do. Thank you.